According to the Social Security Administration, how much do we depend on our Social Security check as a percentage of our income? According to SSA, for all people 65 and older, the average is about 30% of our income will come from that Social Security check. For many people, it's going to be about 50%. But for 15% of people, it will be 90% of their income. Yeah. It is. So, I mean, when you run numbers and you see that, do you say this is a red flag, this is a bit of a danger, or is I don't care where the income's coming from, let's just use it?
Yeah, in most people's plans, Social Security, it's going to be a big deal, right?
Okay.
I mean, even if it's only 50%, right? That's 50%. That's half of what you're relying on is coming from Social Security. And to kind of go back to the beginning of this, what's tended to happen over time is that Social Security was never supposed to be your retirement plan, right? It by itself. It was really supposed to be an element of it, right? So it's been around for a while. So there was pensions more back then, and it would be, well, you got your Social Security, you got a pension, a couple of streams of guaranteed income. It's great. Pensions have kind of gone away, and now we're more focused on the 401k, or that's what we have available to us. And so, it should be the 401k and Social Security. And for more people than it should be, Social Security has become, I've got what I've got from there, right? And that's going to be what works out. So it's definitely an important thing. And this is what makes it really valuable, right? It's a guaranteed income, okay? So what does that mean? Well, it means when we have those, in some of our prior shows, we talked about, are there stock market bubbles? Are we going to be in another 2008 situation? I hope not. My life gets very complicated when that happens, right? But if that happens, there'll be a market correction at some point, right? It's the way it goes. That stream of income has no correlation to what happens to the markets. It keeps coming in, right? So the fact that it serves 50% of the income needs of what people are looking for or anything, that's a big deal. The bigger deal is that it is independent of what's happening to the markets. And that gives a lot of confidence to people, especially retirees, right? I'm not working anymore. I'm not accumulating my 401k. I'm actually depleting it. It's good to know I've got this 2,000, 2,500, 1,500, whatever it is, coming in from Social Security that is not tied to the markets. And usually what most people are saying is like, oh, I wish I had a bit more of that. I wish I had a bit more on the guaranteed income side. Yeah.
I was looking at some Social Security stories, and we all know, the trust fund's going to run out in 2033, and people are all crazy about that. But that doesn't mean Social Security is going away. It might be cut back a little bit. But that means a lot of people are taking their Social Security at age 62. And many of them don't realize that if they waited a little longer, they could get maybe another 30% if they waited till they were 70. But then we find out at 2033 that they're going to cut back maybe by 20%. So now I'm looking at that person who took it at 62. Now they've taken a 50% haircut on a check that could have been much bigger. And I think I know that you've said your default is take it right away, but I think that's got to be under consideration as well.
Yeah, it is. And when we do our planning, this is the reason that we default to 62. We'll ask people, do you have a specific age you're planning to take Social Security? Most people don't. So I'm kind of open to it, right? We use 62 for a very specific and scientific reason. That's just what people end up doing. They just end up taking it at 62, all right? And it's something like, there was a Fidelity survey I read years ago, and I can't remember if it was 70% or 80% or something, but a huge percentage of the public take it either before full retirement age, or if you're still working, you probably don't want to take it because there's a reduction in your benefit. But they're not waiting for full retirement age. They're not waiting till 70. People do it. It happens. It's just the exception, right? It just doesn't happen that much. And when we're doing the plan, we want to create it for more than likely what's really going to happen, right? And for most people, that is going to be taking their benefit. If it's not at 62, sometime before full retirement age. So this is the key to Social Security and kind of maximizing your benefit. And I say this exact phrase to people. I say, you tell me what your end date is, and I'll tell you exactly when you should take Social Security. Right?
Easy equation.
Because that's what it is. Now, I say that in jest, obviously, because like none of us know what that date is, but that's really what it comes down to, right? So if you've got longevity in your family and everything seems to be going well for you health-wise, well, then maybe you do consider waiting, right? Maybe you do look at full retirement age or delaying a little bit. You've told me before, the men on your side of the family,
yep,
not so great for them.
They don't last too long.
There's not a whole lot of longevity there. And
we marry tough women. I don't know what it is.
If you're getting into your 70s or something, you're lucky, right?
Yeah,
right.
So, yep.
So maybe you don't wait. Maybe you don't wait till 70. You don't wait till full retirement age, and that. So definitely you can factor that in. So those are all things you should consider. This is the final thing we talk to people about, and we say, hey, we don't tell anybody you have to do X, right? We say we want to be educators, and we want to say this is a confusing space. The financial world it's a scary, confusing place, and what we want to do is we want to be your guides through that, demystify everything, show you the pros and cons of both, and once you have the education on it, you're going to make a great decision, right? You're going to make the best decision for you once you understand everything.
Having a lot of information and making those decisions on that information, that's the key. What we want to do.
That's the key. And the last thing we'll mention is, think about this. For most people, Social Security is not going to be enough. They're going to be drawing from their 401k or IRA or whatever it is, right? If you're married or you have kids, or even if you don't, right? You probably want, if you don't get the benefit of all of your savings and your sacrificing to build up this account, if you don't get to use all of that, you probably want somebody that you love to, right? Your beneficiary to. So if we need money, if we need $4,000 a month and $2,000 is going to come from Social Security, right? And we don't take that Social Security at 62 or 63 or 65 or whatever, that money has to come from somewhere, right? So we're going to draw more heavily on an account that has beneficiaries attached to it to preserve an account that dies with you.
Right.
That's always, it doesn't mean that should be your only decision point. It's more information in that whole spectrum to help you make that decision.
Well, it's a part of the income plan. It's a part of the money that's coming in, and we want to treat it as such. It could be $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, could be $1 million over your lifetime that you would pull as a couple from Social Security. Let's treat it as such. Give us a look on our website, which is retire210.com. Let's have a discussion about it, retire210.com, or call us 210-985-6200. 210-985-6200. Let's sit down with the team at Secure Financial Management and talk through your questions about retirement. Get it down on paper. Give you some confidence going into your retirement years. That is all the time we have for today. We hope you'll join us next time here on Clear Skies Retirement Radio.